as you lose more nerve cells, you get more symptoms and it worsens. And I think it is often the family that really knows first and sees what's happening to the person. And the unfortunate thing about frontotemporal dementia is there's not much you could do about it.
I have to make a conscious effort every single day to live the best life that I can. I do that for myself. I do that for our 2 children.
Bruce Willis built his legacy on being the strong, calm center when everything was falling apart.
You really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
But now, everything is falling apart. And this time, it's Demi Moore trying to hold it together. In public interviews, her voice has started to crack. Her hands tremble when she talks about Bruce. She says she's staying strong, but behind the scenes, insiders say she's breaking down. Because Bruce's condition has taken a turn. He can no longer speak, he's lost the ability to read, and now he's starting to lose his ability to walk. And just when you think it can't get worse, it does. Over the past year, Demi Moore has stepped forward as the emotional voice for Bruce's battle with frontotemporal dementia. At the 2024 Hamptons International Film Festival, she was on stage accepting a career award. But the moment that stayed with people wasn't about her legacy. It was about Bruce. She said, "The disease is what the disease is, and I think you have to be in real, deep acceptance of what that is. But for where he's at, he is stable." But the way she said stable didn't feel reassuring. Her voice wavered, her eyes welled. She looked like someone trying to stay composed but struggling to hold it in. A few weeks later, on the Drew Barrymore show, the same thing happened again. She was asked directly, "How is Bruce?" She paused. She looked down. Then she said, "What I always encourage is to just meet them where they're at. When you're holding on to what was, it's a losing game."
Want them to be but who they are in this moment. And from that, there is such beauty and joy and loving and sweetness.
She said she visits Bruce weekly in Los Angeles, that she values every moment. But it was clear, this isn't easy. You could see that these weren't just press sound bites. These were real-time emotional slips, caught on camera, from someone deeply connected to the man she was talking about. In July 2025, things became more serious. A new report revealed that Bruce is now unable to speak, read, or walk. Sources said he had become largely non-verbal and was experiencing serious motor difficulties. It's a heartbreaking turn, especially because the family had previously called him stable just a few months earlier. His eldest daughter, Rumor, posted on Father's Day, "I wish I had asked you more questions while you could still tell me about it all. I'll try to just be grateful." Those words hit differently now. It's no longer just about change, it's about what's been lost. For anyone who didn't grow up watching them, Bruce Willis and Demi Moore weren't just famous exes. They were the definition of Hollywood family goals. They got married in 1987 and had 3 daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah. Even after they split in 2000, they stayed close. Vacations, holidays, birthdays, always together. When Bruce married Emma Hemming in 2009, Demi didn't fade away. The families blended, and the support never stopped. Now, that history matters more than ever, because Bruce's care isn't just coming from his wife. It's also coming from the woman who knew him best in his early days and never really left. In March 2022, Bruce's family released a statement. He would be stepping away from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia, a disorder that affects speech and comprehension.
One of Hollywood's toughest heroes is facing a battle for his own health now and stepping away from the cameras to do it. Bruce Willis has retired from acting.
At the time, many fans weren't sure what it meant. Could he still live a full life? Would this go away? Almost a year later, in February 2023, the family gave a more serious update. Since we announced Bruce's diagnosis of aphasia in spring 2022, his condition has progressed. We now have a more specific diagnosis, frontotemporal dementia, known as FTD. That second update hit harder. FTD is degenerative. It doesn't get better. FTD attacks the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. It controls language, behavior, and personality. Memory might stay sharp early on, but communication begins to disappear. Then motor skills.
But about maybe 30 to 40% of cases, there's some genetic cause behind it.
For people diagnosed under 65, it's one of the most common forms of dementia. There's no cure and no way to slow it down. For Bruce Willis, that's been a slow erosion of who he once was, and a daily challenge for his family as they try to adapt to the new version of him. Emma Hemming Willis, Bruce's wife since 2009, has stayed mostly out of the spotlight, but she's been quietly documenting their journey. And she recently announced a new book, The Unexpected Journey, a memoir about being a caregiver. She's opened up about the emotional side of Bruce's illness. In one post, she wrote simply, "I want it all back." But she also added that even in silence, Bruce continues to teach them all about strength, presence, and love. The family dynamic, Demi, Emma, and all 5 daughters, has remained steady. They don't appear to be putting on a show, just trying to stay connected as best they can. Bruce's daughters have each responded in their own way. Tallulah Willis recently posted rare photos with her dad. In one, she's sitting on the floor next to him, holding his hand while he sits in a chair. In another, her fiancé wraps an arm around Bruce, who gives a small smile. Her caption was simple: "It was a great day filled with smiles." These small updates give fans something real to hold on to, without overexposing him. This isn't PR, it feels personal. Across social media, fans and celebrities have been leaving messages of support. Even Bruce's former co-stars, people like M. Night Shyamalan and Haley Joel Osment, have posted quiet tributes. But the most moving of them all was by Bill Murray.
Bruce Willis is a good guy, a good guy.
Yeah.
And he was a good friend and really always understood.
Before the official diagnosis, there were signs something wasn't right. On film sets, Bruce began forgetting lines. Directors shortened scenes. More body doubles were used. In one case, he reportedly misfired a prop weapon due to confusion about timing. From 2018 to 2021, Bruce appeared in over 20 low-budget films, many of which were written to limit his dialogue. It hasn't gone unnoticed. Demi Moore has become the most visible voice in Bruce Willis's story. She's the one speaking at festivals, appearing on talk shows, and answering difficult questions. And while some have quietly asked why Emma Hemming Willis, Bruce's wife, hasn't taken on more of that spotlight, the reality seems simple. The family knows who can handle what. Emma is managing the day-to-day care. She's raising 2 young daughters. She's writing a book about her experience as a caregiver. Her silence isn't distance, it's exhaustion, focus, and maybe even protection. Demi, on the other hand, has decades of public-facing experience. She and Bruce were together through the height of their fame. They raised 3 children, they navigated divorce, and still came out as co-parents and friends. So when she speaks now, it's not for attention. It's because she knows how to hold the room when things get emotional. People close to the family say Demi often breaks down after visiting Bruce, especially when he doesn't respond the way he used to. But in front of cameras, she keeps her voice steady. Her updates aren't about being strong, they're about giving Bruce's story the dignity it deserves. Her role in all of this feels more like protection than performance. Still, there's a lot we don't know. The family hasn't said whether Bruce still recognizes everyone. They haven't gone into detail about what daily life looks like now, or what the next few months may bring. They haven't said if he's aware of the media attention, or how much he understands when his daughters talk to him. What we do know is that frontotemporal dementia doesn't slow down, and as Bruce becomes more and more quiet, his silence says things that press releases can't. For now, the family's energy is going into the things that matter: caregiving, closeness, and making time count. They post photos, they share birthday moments. They remind people, gently, that this story isn't just sad, it's also human. Bruce Willis isn't acting anymore, he's not giving interviews, he's not in the spotlight, but he's still here. And the people who love him are making every day matter. Emma's book, The Unexpected Journey, is expected to be released later this year. Demi continues her quiet advocacy, never making it about herself, always bringing it back to Bruce. And the daughters, in small, heartfelt moments, keep sharing glimpses of their lives with their dad. Sometimes it's a photo, sometimes it's just a few words. It's not a comeback story, it's a real one.